afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Live at 4 on this Thursday. What a difference 30 degrees makes.
Yes, we lost the sun, but it's a lot warmer today. Feels great.
It really does. Enjoy it because it's not going to last very long. Topping our news on this Thursday, a huge projected surplus in Wisconsin could mean a nice check for you and your family, but don't go spending money you don't have yet.
Senator Ron Johnson visited Dane County this morning. We'll tell you what he had to say about children wearing masks.
And Justice Breyer officially announced his retirement today at the White House. Will now await the president's nominee. Let's take a look outside. And this cross-country ski, we see a lot of those around here.
Yeah, the weather's been perfect for that, especially today.
Yeah, there's just enough snow to make the skiing possible. Back down we go, however. Dana's in the backyard. Sub-zero again.
Yes. It is a very brief warm-up for us. Right now we're at 30 in Madison. Just a little bit ago we were at 32. So already hitting the high for today and cooling down. Our breeze coming in for the north-northwest. And now we have some flurries coming through as well. Mainly north of Dane County, where temperatures are already in the 20s compared to this time yesterday. It is quite a temperature swing for us. A 24-degree jump in Madison. Wind chills just a little bit cooler than where actual temperatures are at, but still above zero. Notice to the northwest, where we look to take our cues from, that's where we're seeing temperatures already dropping below zero. Plan on that tonight. Temperatures this evening falling through the teens. Overnight lows will land just below zero to start off our Friday. Will carry us into a pretty chilly weekend. As far as traffic conditions right now, east and westbound along the Beltline, no major delays for us. Downtown Madison, a few slow and go spots. But overall, things look pretty good. And the same goes through Rock County, north and southbound on the interstate from the Beltline to Janesville, 24 minutes, 16 minutes to get from Middleton to Sauk City, downtown to Sun Prairie, 18 minutes this evening. You definitely won't need the sunglasses for the drive home, but you'll definitely need to bundle up for that drive back into work for tomorrow morning.
It was nice while it lasted. All right, Dana, thank you. How does an extra $150 sound? If you live in Wisconsin, you could be getting a refund check.
That's what Governor Evers wants to do using surplus money in the state. Brady Mallory shows us what needs to happen to make that proposal a reality. Brady?
Well, don't go spending that money just yet. The Republican-controlled legislature would need to approve this proposal. And this is part of a plan Evers introduced today. If approved, every Wisconsinite could get a $150 refund and $150 for each dependent. So a family of 4 would get $600. Evers says projections show the state will have an extra $3.8 million in the general fund. And he says he doesn't want the money to just sit there when it could be helping families. Democrats were critical of a similar plan when then Governor Scott Walker and fellow Republicans enacted a child care tax credit that sent $100 to families for every child in 2018, which was an election year, just like this year. Evers says there's a key reason for wanting to do this now.
This surplus that we have was born during a pandemic, and Scott Walker did not have a pandemic back then. I'm not looking, this is not a re-election thing for me. This is giving the people, it's a significant number.
Evers says his plan would also help boost K-12 funding and ease the cost of child care. Republican leaders say they want to use the money for a tax cut in 2023 when they hope there is a Republican governor. You can read Evers' full announcement on our website, channel3000.com.
Brady, thank you. A Darlington high school gym teacher is facing several felony charges after he allegedly had sex with one of his students on multiple occasions. 23-year-old Jesse Sturtz is charged with 4 counts of sexual assault of a student by school staff. Each charge carries a possible sentence of 6 years in prison and/or a $10,000 fine. The complaint filed against Sturtz alleges that he had sex with a 17-year-old student on 4 separate occasions. Sturtz and the victim first met each other in September of 2021 while the victim was enrolled in one of his classes.
Milwaukee police say they have 4 people of interest in custody in connection with 6 homicides that occurred over the weekend. The bodies of 5 men and 1 woman were found inside a house on the city's north side Sunday. Officials say it appears all of them had been shot to death. Police officers had been called to the scene for a welfare check. Family identified the woman killed as 49-year-old Michelle Harris, along with her husband, Mike Williams. The family says they were trying to reach Michelle for days, and she never answered the phone.
At this time, we can report that we have 4 persons of interest in custody. These persons of interest are all adults. We're still trying to determine what their involvement was, if any, with this homicide. No charges have been referred to the DA's office at this time.
Chief Jeffrey Norman says that officers became aware of a 911 call from a woman from a different address than the shooting, claiming that she was a victim of a shooting and that multiple people were shot. She gave 2 different addresses near where the shooting occurred. Officers went to both locations but didn't see any evidence of a shooting, nor did they find the caller. The caller was later located, and police determined she was not a shooting victim. It's not clear if or how this caller is involved.
Beloit police have arrested a 34-year-old man in connection with a shooting that left 1 woman dead yesterday afternoon. Officers responded to the 1400 block of Madison Road for a report of a gunshot victim. When they arrived, officers found a 31-year-old woman had been shot. The woman was taken to a local hospital where she later died. Police say the man they arrested has minor prior offenses, but officials did not share any other information because the investigation is ongoing.
We don't know the motive. We know the domestic situation. We're still trying to work through that with our detective bureau to find out the motive in regards to this.
News 3 is not naming the suspect at this time as part of a policy not to name suspects until they have been formally charged in court.
Kevin Nicholson announced today that he would be running against Rebecca Clayfish for governor, shaking up the race in the key battleground state. An expensive and bruising Republican primary would be good news for Governor Tony Evers. Nicholson, an outspoken backer of former President Donald Trump, is running as an anti-establishment outsider in a bid to capture conservatives who have not gotten behind Clayfish's candidacy. Nicholson has already clashed with Republicans, including both Clayfish and Assembly Speaker Robin Vos, who last week urged Nicholson not to run. Senator Ron Johnson was in Dane County this morning to talk to parents concerned with school closings and kids wearing masks.
How long the schools were shut down, masking. Heard from parents with the children with asthma, that type of thing. So I'd rather have them speak to the issues, but I've just met with them for about an hour, 15 minutes.
Senator Johnson also clarified the viral clip online from Tuesday of him saying that parents are responsible for their own children and that spending on child care is, quote, the last thing we should be talking about. Now he's saying that the government's role in society is to help people who can't help themselves or help people help themselves.
Madison Mayor Satya Rhodes Conway held her bi-weekly press conference today. Mayor Rhodes Conway discussed the decrease in coronavirus cases in Dane County. She said it is still a surge, but there is a marked decrease in cases over the last week. The mayor also spoke out against a proposal in the state legislature to lower the minimum age to carry a concealed weapon.
Who thinks this is a good idea? Would allow the possession of a firearm in a vehicle on school grounds. Would allow the possession of a firearm in a place of worship or on the grounds of private schools. And another one broadens who can get out-of-state licenses to carry a concealed weapon.
The city of Madison also announced it needs crossing guards. The positions are for 10 to 15 hours a week. And if you want to apply, go to cityofmadison.com and head to their jobs page. Today, Supreme Court Justice Stephen Breyer officially announced he's stepping down at the end of his current term in early summer. Breyer is one of 3 liberal justices on the bench, and his retirement will end his nearly 28-year-long tenure. Natalie Brand has more from the White House.
After a presidential handshake, Justice Stephen Breyer reflected on a nearly 3 decades-long career on the U.S. Supreme Court.
It's a kind of miracle when you sit there and see all those people in front of you, people that are so different in what they think, and yet they've decided to help solve their major differences under law.
President Biden, who presided over Breyer's confirmation as Senate Judiciary Chair back in 1994, called the justice's announcement bittersweet.
I think he's a model public servant in a time of great division in this country.
President Biden says he will announce his choice to replace Justice Breyer by the end of February, and he says he will make good on his campaign promise to nominate the first black woman to the nation's high court.
I will select a nominee worthy of Justice Breyer's legacy of excellence and decency.
Potential candidates include federal appeals court judge Ketanji Brown Jackson, who once clerked for Justice Breyer, and Judge J. Michelle Childs, a favorite of South Carolina Congressman and Biden ally James Clyburn.
She has what I call the kind of background and experiences that we ought to have.
Senate Majority Leader Chuck Schumer has said he wants to move quickly to confirm the president's nominee ahead of the midterm elections. President Biden said he would consult the vice president and senators from both parties before making his decision on a nominee. Natalie Brandt, CBS News, the White House.
And in a statement today, the Senate's top Republican, Mitch McConnell, urged the president not to outsource his decision to what he calls, quote, the radical left.
Currently, there are 6 conservative and 3 liberal justices on the U.S. Supreme Court, and that is not expected to change with President Biden's first appointment. The federal mandate for millions of healthcare workers to get vaccinated against COVID begins today, and some states hard hit by COVID are taking extraordinary measures to keep schools open. Education Secretary Miguel Cardona says keeping schools open is a priority for the Biden administration during the pandemic, but doing so has required the National Guard in states like New Mexico, and some schools are asking parents to get certified as substitutes so kids continue learning in person.
Our schools must offer increased access to mental health support for students, wraparound programs, meaningful and authentic parent and family engagement.
Meanwhile, Moderna says it's studying a booster shot designed specifically to fight the Omicron variant. A study shows the drug maker's currently authorized booster shot protection against the variant fades over the course of 6 months.
Well, despite better than expected economic growth numbers, stocks fell today on Wall Street. The Dow Industrials gave up 7 points, closing at 34,160. The Nasdaq fell 189 points. The S&P 500 was off 23. Well, up next on Live at 4, a lost symphony comes to life this weekend at the Overture Center.
When we come back, we'll preview the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra's debut of composer Bill Banfield's Symphony No. 8, Here I Stand. That's coming up when Live at 4 continues.
You're watching News 3 Now, Live at 4.
Open late, early, weekends, after double shifts, during lunch breaks, in between grocery shopping, side gigs, and picking up the kiddos. Drop off your docs, upload online, or file on the go. At Jackson Hewitt, we work around your schedule so you can get your biggest refund guaranteed.
Welcome to the lifestyles of the smart and savvy. Today, the Coopers are a cost-conscious couple. But back in the day, not so much. Now, saving is more their style, which is why they chose Consumer Cellular. They get the same premium coverage as the nation's leading carriers for half the cost. Imagine talk, text, and data starting at $20 a month. And award-winning customer service. Switch to Consumer Cellular today and start saving.
USAA is made for the safe pilots, like Matt, who can come to a stop with barely a bobble. With USAA Safe Pilot, when you drive safe, you can save up to 30% on your auto insurance. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for. Get a quote today.
If your credit card debt is out of control, if you're in over your head in monthly payments, there's a secret the credit card companies don't want you to know. If you have more than $10,000 in credit card debt, you have the right to let us settle that debt for a fraction of what you owe. That's bad news for the credit card companies, but it's great news for you. We're Credit Associates, and we're offering you free information on how to completely resolve your credit card debt with a monthly payment you can afford. To see how much you could save, call now. 1-800-914-6947. Don't declare bankruptcy. Don't consolidate. Give us 10 minutes and we could save you thousands. After all, we depend on your success and offer a guarantee so there's no risk to call. Credit Associates. Live better, debt-free. We'll even show you how to use your stimulus money to jumpstart our services and get you debt-free faster than you ever thought possible. Call Credit Associates now to see how much you could save for free. Call 1-800-914-6947.
Attention Dish Network customers. WISC-TV's agreement with Dish ends January 28th. If a new agreement isn't reached, your access to local news and CBS programming like The Equalizer, 60 Minutes, and CBS Sports will be eliminated. WISC-TV has fair agreements with all other cable and satellite providers, and we're working hard to find a resolution. And you can always watch WISC-TV for free over the air. Learn more at channel3000.com.
Bob's won't rest until everyone gets the furniture they love, in stock and fast. But we're only two Bobs. Are we, though? It's time to assemble the Bobs. It's the call of the Bobs. Well, that's a happy little sound.
Bob, vanilla ice latte.
Bobs. Wow, this is some seashell. Shop what's in stock, in store, or at mybobs.com.
Welcome back. Last year, renowned composer Dr. Bill Banfield began a 3-year term as the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra's inaugural composer in residence.
Tomorrow, he'll be doing something never done before, the world premiere of his Symphony No. 8, titled Here I Stand, at the Overture Center in Madison.
Our photojournalist Lance Heinz shows us how Banfield put the motion into music.
The relationship between a composer and orchestra is really critical. The strings sound lovely, by the way, the sonorities are lovely. It's the creation of these works out of the imagination, out of life. All of this is a bit too slow, so he's going to just take it up a little bit so it moves a little bit. Then you give those notes and those ideas to musicians. My name is Bill Banfield, and I'm the composer in residence for the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra. I was very moved by the words of Paul Robeson in his life, Here I Stand. And how do we make a stand in life and work with our convictions, and we stand out as artists. Piece didn't get performed at the particular venue that commissioned it. So here we are 20 years later to bring this symphony piece to life. And it is the Lost Symphony 8, as we've been calling it, and with smiles on our face. So that's what we're hearing, the premiere of the Symphony 8, Here I Stand. They don't get the subtleties of the sonorities, which is nice. We are very excited to have the wonderful, the fabulous Patrice Rushen in town with us.
Hi, I'm Patrice Rushen, and I'm here in Madison, Wisconsin, to hear a beautiful concert that features some of my music. Bill and I have been friends for years, and we met when he attended one of my pop concerts, and he told me about himself, and I was enamored with the kinds of things that he wanted to do and the ideas that he had. And then he became a mentor to me. I've had big hits on the radio, R&B and pop hits, and people didn't know this side of my musical personality. Very few people knew that what I really wanted to do was to be a composer. It's a full circle moment for me, and especially because this particular piece, Symphonia, all 3 movements, Bill was in the audience the very first time that it was read. The fact that it has held up and that other people now are discovering it is a beautiful thing and something that any composer would dream of. So I'm living the dream.
Come up a little bit tempo, just dial this back a little bit. We as musicians, we hear emotions and motions and ideas in tones and colors. We goosed up all the brass stuff. And once you realize that you had that gift or that inkling, then you're trained to know where to place those tones to make the statement about life you want to make. The third movement, we really want to fire that up. So tempo-wise and strings really dig in. Really make that happen. It is our music. It's coming from our soul and our mind. But we give it to musicians in order to sound out so people hear it.
Again, thanks to Lance for putting that piece together for us.
Tickets are available for tomorrow's show. You can purchase them at overture.org.
And joining us now is the music director and conductor of the Wisconsin Chamber Orchestra,
Maestro Andrew Sewell. Welcome back to Live at 4. It's so good to see you.
So nice to see you both. We feel like old friends.
Yes.
It's been
a long partnership, I have to say, these 20 years.
Yeah, we're proud to have it, and that was a nice sneak peek of this music. Tell us about the Conductor in Residence program. You and Bill go way back, don't you?
The Composer in Residence,
Composer in Residence, yes.
That's okay. Bill and I were in class together over 30 years ago at the University of Michigan. I was completing my master's in conducting, and he was finishing his doctorate, and we shared a lot of classes together. Jump forward 10 years, I was the resident conductor of Toledo, and I was doing some concert music. I programmed his Symphony No. 7 then. And then in 2019, I was interested in doing some of his music again on the square, and so I called him to ask about his Symphony No. 7, and that started a dialogue. It ignited a relationship and a dialogue. And as we got talking, I asked him about commissioning a work, and then he told me about his Symphony No. 8, and that's how this relationship started. And we thought, well, wouldn't it be great? There's just so much to do. Let's make this into a residency. And so it was nothing planned. It just happened organically, and this is what's so cool about the whole project.
Yeah, this is a big get for the Chamber Orchestra to have Bill on board.
Absolutely. He's a Pulitzer Prize-winning judge, and through the personal relationship that I had with him, and just when I started asking him about this commissioning project and the nature of it, which was for this coming summer at Concerts on the Square, which of course 2 years ago, before the pandemic, it was intended for the 2019 season. But that was what spurred this relationship, and I was looking for a narrated piece of a historic African-American figure that we could put a narration to on the square. And he said, well, I've already done that. It's my Symphony No. 8, but I've got to find out where it is. That's what happened. Here we are.
It's just so wonderful. It's so wonderful to hear live classical music again, and this will be the first time in a long time you've performed live back at Overture, right?
It really is. It's almost 2 years to the month that we last gave our performance in a masterwork at the Capitol Theatre. Our season begins in January, so we're taking all kinds of precautions. The musicians are distanced from each other, so there's a wide spread on the stage, as you saw in that clip just then. So we're also doing the Beethoven Triple Concerto, and as you heard, Patrice Rushen's Symphonia, which again, that's also a premiere of sorts because it's never been actually performed in a concert. It was only performed at a reading session 20 years ago. So it's very exciting.
What a way to kick off a season and a return to live performances at Overture.
And it's so good that you're covering this, and I think it's beneficial for everyone to see the life and the times of Paul Robeson, what it means, and the video that goes with this program has been absolutely astonishing. And Rigoletto Lopez, from a former graduate student and videographer, has put together an amazing presentation. I hope that many viewers can have a chance to see it.
Well, looking forward to the season, that's for sure. Good to see you again, Maestro.
Andrew, so great to see you. Thank you so much.
So good to see you. I just want to reach out there and give you guys a hug. Thank you so much.
Same here, same here. We will one day soon.
We'll see you in the summertime, if not sooner.
Okay. All right. Thank you, Andrew. Still to come at 4, it is Holocaust Remembrance Day, 77 years since the Soviets liberated the Auschwitz death camp.
When we come back, we'll hear from survivors who lived through the horrors of the Nazis. That's coming up after Dana's First Warn forecast.
Fixed. No charge.
Ah, that's my son. He always takes care of his mama.
Ooh, what's up with Granny's casserole?
It's for after your Uncle Joe's funeral. My brother didn't have a life insurance policy.
I hear there's a collection to help Aunt Adele.
Yeah, a funeral costs north of $9,000 these days. That's a hefty bill for family to pay if there's no life insurance check to help.
Wow. Makes you think, doesn't it?
Which reminds me, I've been meaning to tell you, I got that $9.95 plan from Colonial Penn. I'm on a fixed income, so price is important.
The life insurance on TV.
Just $9.95 a month to help you pay my funeral expenses. What about your family, son? You've got a wife and kids, and a grandson living with you now, too.
Maybe I should get the $9.95 plan, too. Thing is, this has been a rough year for my business, Ma. Money's tight. Still, for $9.95 a month, I don't have a good excuse, do I?
I'm Jonathan for Colonial Penn Life Insurance Company. If you're age 50 to 85, just $9.95 a month buys whole life insurance with guaranteed acceptance. You cannot be turned down for any health reason. There are no health questions. Guaranteed lifetime coverage. Your insurance can never be canceled. Just pay your premiums. Guaranteed lifetime rate lock. Your rate can never increase. It's locked in as soon as you're covered and stays the same for the rest of your life. With guarantees like these, it's no surprise the 995 plan is Colonial Penn's #1 most popular whole life insurance.
Now don't forget to wear your good suit tonight. And please call about the 995 plan today while it's on your mind, okay?
Call now for free information.
Call 1-800-505-7613 for free information and your free beneficiary planner. No obligation. 1-800-505-7613. That's 1-800-505-7613. Call now.
To be a thriver with metastatic breast cancer means asking for what we want and need, and we need more time. So we want Kisqali. Women are living longer than ever before with Kisqali when taken with an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant in postmenopausal women with HR-positive, HER2-negative metastatic breast cancer. Kisqali is a pill that's significantly more effective at delaying disease progression versus an aromatase inhibitor or fulvestrant alone. Kisqali can cause lung problems or an abnormal heartbeat, which can lead to death. It can cause serious skin reactions, liver problems, and low white blood cell counts that may result in severe infections. Tell your doctor right away if you have new or worsening symptoms, including breathing problems, cough, chest pain, a change in your heartbeat, dizziness, yellowing of the skin or eyes, dark urine, tiredness, loss of appetite, abdomen pain, bleeding, bruising, fever, chills, or other symptoms of an infection, a severe or worsening rash, are or plan to become pregnant or breastfeeding. Avoid grapefruit during treatment. Ask your doctor about living longer with Kisqali.
Well, take a look at this. Meet Jonathan, the oldest living tortoise on Earth. Jonathan was gifted to Sir William Gray Wilson in 1882 and is believed to be close to 200 years old. Wilson eventually moved to the remote island of St. Helena, where he would become governor. Photos from that time show a youngish Jonathan roaming the grounds. 200 years old.
It's incredible. They're so fascinating, aren't they?
They really are. The things he's seen. Well, today's the perfect day to have your cake and eat it too. It's National Chocolate Cake Day.
So who doesn't need an excuse to grab a slice of chocolate cake? It's my very favorite. As for the origin of the cake itself, trivia buffs, it's believed the first one was made in 1765 when a doctor and a chocolate maker teamed up for the ultimate dessert. I'm not quite sure why
I don't know what the connection there is.
Betty Crocker released her first dry cake mixes in 1947.
And the rest is history.
Yes.
We were promised earlier today that we would have chocolate cake to eat. Yes, I know, right? Where's that at?
You can't have your cake and eat it too.
Oh.
You deserve cake for this day today. But
today's a nice day. I'll take credit for these days.
I mean, you're blaming me for tomorrow.
I'll blame you for tomorrow. You guys, Mark really loves the cold weather. He's just asking.
The colder, the better.
And that's where we're going to be landing again tomorrow morning. Temperatures below zero. We'll look at your full 10-day right after the break.
3 days only. Day Furs acquired over 500 new garments and cool weather accessories, and everything must go. Save 40 to 80%. Pre-owned furs starting at $49. All accessories 60% off at Day Furs this Thursday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
Got my hair, got my head, got my brains, got my ears, got my heart, got my soul, got my mouth.
Never holds you back. Don't settle for silver. #1 for diabetic dry skin. #1 for psoriasis symptom relief. And #1 for eczema symptom relief. Gold Bond. Champion your skin.
You don't know how much pressure you put on your septic system, but Rid-X does. In a 21-month study, scientists proved that Rid-X reduces up to 20% of waste buildup every month. Take the pressure off with Rid-X.
Reynolds Wrap makes this whole cooking and cleanup thing so easy. Speeds up this so I can get to them.
Easy prep, cook, and clean with Reynolds Wrap.
I just want our kids to be kids again. Play sports, go to school, without having to worry all the time.
So when we learned the COVID-19 vaccine is safe for kids age 5 and up,
we talked to their doctor, and she helped our family decide to get our sons vaccinated right away.
And to keep taking safety steps in public, too.
Help your kids stay safe and in school. Find a free COVID-19 vaccine for kids near you at dhs.wi.gov/COVID-19/parents.
I was a Navy submariner for over 20 years. I spent a large portion of my life underwater. Service is about putting your country before yourself. But Senator Ron Johnson uses his office to serve himself. Ron Johnson passed a special tax break that benefited his family's business, then cashed out of the company for $5 million. Ron Johnson has doubled his wealth since he's been elected. That's not what service is about. Tell Ron Johnson to stop voting for tax laws that benefit himself.
3 days only. Day Furs acquired over 500 new garments and cool weather accessories, and everything must go. Save 40 to 80%. Pre-owned furs starting at $49. All accessories 60% off at Day Furs this Thursday through Saturday, 10 a.m. to 6 p.m.
News 3 Now First Warn Weather is brought to you by Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor.
Discover a shopping and design experience as comfortable as the furniture. Lazy Boy Home Furnishings and Decor. Schedule your free design consultation today.
Some flurries passing through for us right now, enough that we're picking it up on our Skycam and on our Doppler track, mainly north of Dane County. Northwest really seeing that steadier snowfall, but enough right now on the patio that you can see a few snowflakes rolling around, enough to count, as Mark said. If you want to go outside and count some snowflakes later, he doesn't have anything else going on, so he can do it. Right now we do have some clouds along with that light snow, but overnight skies will steadily become partly cloudy. That will allow our temperatures to really cool down with our breeze coming in from the northwest. Temps will be below 0 for Friday morning. Wind chills even colder than that. Afternoon highs on Friday in the low teens. So a very cold afternoon expected, even with some sunshine coming through for Friday. Saturday morning, yet again, temperatures will drop below 0. High temperatures in the afternoon will be in the upper teens. So we're adding on a few more degrees heading into the weekend, and that'll be the trend heading into Sunday and for Monday. Just each day improving a little bit on our temperature profile. Wind chills tomorrow, while temperatures will be below 0, wind chills will also be below 0, really in that 5 to 15 below range throughout southern Wisconsin. And as we fast forward through the afternoon, notice wind chills not as bad for Friday afternoon, and for Saturday morning, still in that 5 to 15 below range, but not as bad for Saturday afternoon. So again, steady improvements over the next few days compared to where we've been at. It's still cold outside, but not nearly as cold as what we saw earlier this week. Partly sunny tomorrow, highs in the mid-teens, still cold again. Our breeze from the west-northwest about 5 to 10 miles per hour. Once we get through that into the start of February, it looks like we have quite a system bringing in some snow chances and some colder temperatures stretching into the back half of that 6 to 10 day and our 8 to 14 day outlook for the eastern half of the country. A cooler trend settling in. Our wind chills well below 0 for early Friday morning and early Saturday morning. Will be in the mid-teens for afternoon highs on Friday. Saturday in the upper teens, close to 20. Sunday in the mid-20s, and then for Monday, we're back close to freezing. We'll have sunshine all the way into the start of next week, so a dry stretch expected. Not a bad idea to get outside and get the car cleaned up over the next few days. We'll get to enjoy it for a little bit before things get messy for the middle of the week. We're looking at a system that could bring some snow, possibly mixed with rain at times for Tuesday heading into the middle of next week before things cool back down again, guys.
Did you see the line at the car wash today?
That's what we were just talking about. I have not seen it yet. I was going to go through, Susan, but might just have to wait on that one.
I was too, but the road, it's still sloppy.
Yeah, it is.
It is, and especially after today with just a little bit of melting, we're going to get that slushiness again, at least for a few more hours before everything refreezes.
Ice again.
Ice again for us. Right around the it's a nice cycle. Usually we get into the cycle more in March, though.
Yeah, and we're deficit with the snow, aren't we?
We are. We absolutely are well below average right now for our snowpack. It's nice to have some snow on the ground. The snowmobile trails are open right now, but not quite as much as what we usually see.
And we need the moisture. All right, Dana, thank you.
Thanks, Dana.
Well, Holocaust Memorial Day is being marked around the world 77 years after Auschwitz, the largest Nazi death camp, was liberated.
Most survivors are now in their 80s and 90s. Tina Kraus reports from London.
Well, that's my mother, brother.
Alina Peretti says now is the time to finally share her memories of the Holocaust with her family.
There is no one day that I don't think about it.
She was just a child when she was put on a train to Auschwitz.
You had people lying down dead, and you have us standing up waiting when they're going to turn gun in our direction.
On this Holocaust Memorial Day, Eric Hirsch told the BBC about his experience at the death camp.
I lost my parents, I lost my brothers and sisters.
The 93-year-old showed the tattoo Nazis gave him.
If you have chosen to live, you got a number on your arm, and I got B7608.
At services across Europe to mark 77 years since liberation, many were reduced to tears.
We have to make sure that we never forget. We owe this to 6 million Jewish men, women, and children murdered in the Holocaust.
Faces of survivors, including Eric Hirsch, are part of a memorial exhibit commissioned by Britain's Prince Charles.
What better way of rejecting that kind of philosophy that led to the Holocaust and honouring survivors than this project?
Each painting is more than a person, it's a story. The Prince hopes will inspire future generations to choose love over hate. Tina Krause, CBS News, London.
And Holocaust Memorial Day also remembers people killed in genocides that followed in Cambodia, Rwanda, Bosnia, and Darfur. Well, coming up next here on Live at 4, Dr. Zorba Pastor joins us to talk about the recent drop in COVID cases in Dane County.
We'll be taking your calls as well this afternoon, and then next hour at 5, a bill is going through the Wisconsin legislature to recognize naturopathic doctors. What could that mean for you? We'll have the story at 5.
At the Alliant Energy Center, the Monsters of Destruction, February 4th and 5th at 7:30 and the 6th at 2 p.m. Top monster trucks including Laminator, War Wizard, and Crazy Train, along with the insane action of freestyle motocross. Every ticket includes a pit pass for the pit party with drivers and riders, plus go for a ride in a monster truck. Get tickets and details at monstersofdestruction.com. Get ripped up. The Monsters of Destruction, February 4th, 5th, and 6th.
On my travels across the country, I came across this house with water dripping from the ceiling. You never know when something like this will happen. So let the Geico Insurance Agency help you with homeowners insurance and protect yourself from things like fire, theft, or in this case, water damage. Now, if I had to guess, I'd say somewhere upstairs there's a broken pipe.
Geico. Save even more when you bundle home and car insurance at geico.com.
Your eyes, beautiful on the outside, but if you have diabetes, there can be some not so pretty stuff going on inside. It's true, with diabetic retinopathy, excess sugar can damage blood vessels, causing vision loss or even blindness. So remember this, now is the time to get your eyes checked. Eye care is important to your long-term diabetes management. See a path forward with actions and treatments from a retina specialist that may help protect against vision loss. Visit nowic.com and take charge of your sight.
Summer's coming, and so are those warm, relaxing weekends. No matter where your adventures take you, we've got you covered at the new Lake Home and Cabin Show, January 28th through the 30th at the Alliant Energy Center in Madison. Whether you're staying at a vacation rental, towing a teardrop trailer to sleep under the stars, or heading to a beloved family cabin, you'll find everything for your getaway lifestyle at the Lake Home and Cabin Show, January 28th through the 30th, Alliant Energy Center. Every weekend should be this fun.
Is price inflation costing you way more now for food, shelter, and basic expenses? Is paying credit cards and high debt now getting harder? I'm attorney Peter Francis Geraci. Call Geraci Law to see about Chapter 7 or 13 to eliminate or consolidate as low as $275 a month. On your phone, from your home, or old school in person. $0 down to start. Hit the debt-free button. Click or call now.
Governor Evers makes a big financial offer to Wisconsin residents. Tonight at 5, find out how he proposes to spend a big chunk of the state's projected surplus and what it could mean for you.
Temperatures will head back down to below 0 for tonight and Friday night. With generally light winds, wind chills won't be as bitterly cold as earlier this week. I'll tell you how cold it'll get at 5.
You've probably seen them rolling around the UW campus, how a legion of delivery robots has been making a big impact in helping out students. Join us tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Here's Here's a live picture. Downtown Madison, cloudy but milder today. It felt nice to have a break from that bitter cold, but it's coming back. So Dana will have an update on that in just a little bit. It's time for our weekly visit with Dr. Zorba Pastor, and we'll be taking your calls coming up in the next segment.
And Zorba joins us this afternoon live from the big island of Hawaii. Hi, Zorba.
Lucky duck.
You're there for a conference?
Of course. I had a choice. Rochester, Minnesota, or Kona, Hawaii. It was a hard choice, but I made it.
And you packed well. Packer hat and the Hawaiian shirt.
I got the shirt, I got the flowers, I got the Green Bay Packer hat. Everyone who sees the hat goes, I'm so sorry. I know how bad you feel.
Okay, I don't want to ask you this, but how is the weather there?
It's perfect. What else can I say? 80 degrees, wonderful weather, slight breeze, primo.
Wonderful.
Yeah, that's great news. And also, it's pretty good news here in Dane County. COVID-19 cases are on the decline.
Right. Omicron is definitely on the decline. Just sort of how the CDC and Johns Hopkins University thought it would happen. So many people getting infected. But of course, the problem is the death rates are going up. And if you look at the data, you are 60 times more likely to die of Omicron and be hospitalized by Omicron if you are not vaccinated. And it's hard to believe in Dane County that there are still people who are not vaccinated. But the reality is those are the people that really end up in the hospital, end up on the ventilators, and unfortunately often end up either death or seriously ill.
Yeah, we're not out of the woods yet. Our mask
by no means.
Our mask mandate here in Dane County just got extended, and so I don't know, people, we still have to stay strong and maintain all the protocols.
You know, I mean, we go inside, you pull up a mask. I mean, it's been that way. You don't really like doing it, but you put the mask on and you say, I can do this. And you're doing it for yourself and for the people around you. It's just like years ago, people would light up a cigarette anywhere you went. I mean, no matter where you went in a restaurant, somebody next to you lit up a cigarette. No one would do that now. And the answer is, if you're not getting immunized, you may be affecting and infecting the person next to you. So the answer is, it's our public health, it's our duty to actually get immunized. And that's really important. Now we have very good data. We know how safe they are. They're as safe as measles, mumps, German measles, polio vaccines. And it's important for all of us to ante up and get vaccinated and get boosted.
People have been vaccinated for over a year now, some people, and we're all still here.
Right. That's exactly right. We're all still here waiting to take off our masks. If everyone gets vaccinated, maybe we can do that.
All right. Now it's your turn. Call in if you have a question for Dr. Zorba Pastor.
Call now. The number is 608-270-9933. And Zorba will take your calls live from the Big Island when Live at 4 continues. We'll be right back.
To another Buzzed in a Madison Money Minute. Now you know this friendly face because this is the second time you're back. Matt Cutlin of Midwest Financial Group. So during this post-holiday New Year time of year, we really want to start thinking of your financial health as possibly a resolution.
Well, people make New Year's resolutions. It's really easy to think about that as it applies to your body, but finances and stressing about finances or not stressing about finances is a really big thing for people. And so I think you treat it the same way you would your health. And people will go have an annual checkup at a doctor. I think having an annual checkup on your finances would be a wise move.
I love that analogy. And you're available for checkups, right? You're taking new patients.
I guess call me a doctor in that regard.
So winter is also another great time for really planning for some maybe unexpected financial situations that could arise.
Well, I mean, you think about it. You have your home, and you plan for what if the furnace goes out, and you've got the car. What if you need a jump start? Your finances are the same way. Your retirement planning, things are going to unexpectedly come up. So having a plan, working on thinking through that ahead of time so that you're not caught off guard can go a long way.
This is such an exciting time of year because I always feel like it's a possibility for a new start. Maybe you're thinking about retirement. Maybe you want to just make sure everything's in order. Right now is the time to really figure out what your plan is.
Well, we always say that the best time to do a financial plan is today. The next best time is tomorrow. The next best time is the third day after that. Knowing about what you're going to do and how you're going to do it, and then positioning yourself sooner rather than later is really important.
Absolutely. Well, there you go. You can call Dr. Matt and make an appointment at his clinic, Midwest Financial Group. I'm Emmy Fink from Hilldale, and you are buzzed into
Madison.
Suicide.
Suicide.
What can you do to help someone?
Program these numbers into your phone.
Helpline is free therapy available 24/7.
Or download these free apps to your phone that you can customize just for you.
If you thought about suicide, don't be too proud to ask for help.
The suicide will only pass the pain you are feeling onto your family and loved ones.
Get help.
Get help.
Get help.
Entresto is the #1 heart failure brand prescribed by cardiologists and has helped over 1 million people. It was proven superior at helping people stay alive and out of the hospital. Don't take Entresto if pregnant. It can cause harm or death to an unborn baby. Don't take Entresto with an ACE inhibitor or aliskiren, or if you've had angioedema with an ACE or ARB. The most serious side effects are angioedema, low blood pressure, kidney problems, or high blood potassium. Ask your doctor about Entresto.
Right now, no accidents to report. Always good news for us. Along the Beltline, a lot of green, east and westbound. A little bit slower past John Nolan on the eastbound side, but things do pick up pretty quickly the closer you get to Monona and downtown Madison. No unusual spots for us this evening. For the interstate north and southbound through Rock County and Dane County, all looks nice and smooth. That's a quick look at traffic.
All right. Thank you, Dana. It only takes a minute for a child to get into a whole lot of trouble. This girl's mom gasps as she comes around the corner and finds her red-faced daughter. She's transformed herself from a toddler to a tomato. The 3-year-old completely covers her entire face with lipstick in a matter of moments. Her parents claim she was only alone for 2 to 3 minutes while they both set the table for dinner. Oh, good
That's
for her.
Hilarious.
All right, we are taking your calls for Dr. Zorba Passer, 608-270-9933. And we're going to start with Jill from Fitchburg. Hi, Jill. What's your question?
Hi. I am a grandma, and I have a 2-year-old grandson, and I'm wondering where they are in the vaccines for them. Are they going to come out are they coming out this year soon, like in the spring, or are they in a big study that takes more development?
Good question.
Sure. Very good question. Right now, I mean, the studies are going on. The CDC is very careful as it goes through, and the FDA looking at exactly what the side effects are. I don't think we have an exact number. I think what I've heard best is it's going to come out this spring. That's the best news I can find.
Okay. All right. Thank you for calling. Let's go to Bev in Beaver Dam. Hi, Bev. What's your question?
Hi. A week ago, or a little more than a week ago, they came out with a toll-free number to order the COVID tests over the phone for people that don't have internet service. Well, I tried calling that number, and at the very end, you have to give an email address in order to complete your request. So it did not go through.
It failed. It failed. Sorry to hear about that. I don't have a good answer for that. That's really a good point. I don't even know who you would contact in order to find out. Probably call your local representative and see whether or not they can work on that. Good, good question. I don't have the answer.
Yeah, I don't know what the point of a toll-free number is if you have to give an email at the end.
Right.
All right, let's go to John in Madison. Hi, John. What's your question?
Hi. I would like to know what is your most optimistic guess and your most pessimistic guess as to when this pandemic will end? Thank you.
My most optimistic guess is that it's going to end sometime this spring or summer. The numbers will be down to the point where we don't mask. Now, the reality is we're probably going to live with COVID just like we live with influenza. It may turn out to be seasonal. We know that influenza kills 20 to 70,000 people a year. I suspect once we get COVID into that range, we're going to live with it, and we're going to figure out exactly what we're going to do. Maybe that we mask in the winter, maybe not. But I think over the spring, I think it's going to get less, but it's not going to stop completely.
Do you think there's evidence yet, Zorba, that it's peaking in Dane County, or it's too soon to tell?
Absolutely. Omicron has not been as serious for many, many people. Obviously, we have an increase in people in the hospital, but the reality is it's so super infectious that it's actually making a big difference. So I think the peaking is there nationally and in Dane County for sure.
All right, let's go to Andre now in Madison. Hi, what's your question?
Yes. I have a question about, I was vaccinated in April, I got COVID in September, and my doctor and the state is saying that, and several other doctors are saying that I don't need a booster, but I'm also wondering why we're not mentioning much about those people who have had natural immunity.
Oh, sure. Well, first of all, you do need a booster. After your second shot, 5 months later, you do need a booster. So if anyone said you don't need a booster, they are wrong. You do need a booster. And the reality is, if you've had COVID and you've had all 3 shots, turns out your antibodies are super high. Now, whether or not that protects you from getting another form of COVID in the future, we don't really know yet. But the answer is everyone needs 3 shots. If somebody told you only needed 2 shots, they are incorrect.
But natural immunity changes with different viruses, right? For example, for measles, you have natural immunity for your life, but this, not necessarily, or we don't know yet.
Well, that's correct, and that's because measles did not end up mutating like coronavirus, and we don't know what the coronavirus is going to be like. So get all 3 shots, your full immunization and your booster for everybody, whether or not they had COVID or not.
All right. Let's go to Robert now in Richland Center. Hi, Robert. What's your question?
Yeah, I was wondering when they started giving out informed consent on these vaccines.
Oh, there's been informed consent for more than a decade. Whenever you get a vaccine in our office, we hand you a sheet of paper, you read it, and you make a decision, and that's with all vaccinations. It's probably been 20 or 25 years.
So that's nothing new.
Yep, nothing new.
All right. Well, we are out of time. Thank you for your time. How long are you in Hawaii for?
Forever. I'm going to stay here forever.
I wouldn't blame you.
Well, I think we'll have to join you.
I'm here for a bit more.
All right, Robert. Good to see you.
Enjoy it.
Thank you all for calling in.
Thanks for doing this with us. It was very generous of you.
You're most welcome.
All right. We'll have a final check of your forecast coming up.
Test rest a Beauty Rest Black or Black Hybrid at Steinhoffel's, and you could win a 2-year lease to a 2022 Mercedes-Benz GLA 250. Beauty Rest Black is the ultimate in luxury and comfort. Queen mattresses start at just $23.99. Plus, get a free weighted blanket and $200 in Steinhoffel's cash. And with Steinhoffel's special financing and free delivery, buying a Beauty Rest Black has never been easier. Relax. It's Steinhoffel's and Steinhoffels.com.
This year, there are more tax credits at stake than ever before. Thousands more. The tax pros at Jackson Hewitt will help track down every last dollar. Jackson Hewitt is here to make sure you don't miss a single deduction, so you can get your biggest refund guaranteed.
What are you recommending for muscle pain?
Based on clinical data, I recommend Salonpas.
Agreed. My patients like these patches because they work up to 12 hours, even on moderate pain.
Salonpas, it's good medicine.
At iMart Express, it's just the right price. 2 pairs of glasses start under $40. Using insurance, we accept over 1,000 plans, and using your benefits is as easy as 1, 2, 3. No insurance? No problem. Glasses to fit your budget. It's just the right price. Only at iMart Express.
I was a Navy submariner for over 20 years. I spent a large portion of my life underwater. Service is about putting your country before yourself. But Senator Ron Johnson uses his office to serve himself. Ron Johnson passed a special tax break that benefited his family's business, then cashed out of the company for $5 million. Ron Johnson has doubled his wealth since he's been elected. That's not what service is about. Tell Ron Johnson to stop voting for tax laws that benefit himself.
The Wisconsin legislature has voted to license naturopathic doctors in the state. Tonight at 5, find out about this medical approach and how it views COVID vaccines. Also, Governor Evers offers some big financial plans to Wisconsin residents. Join us for that story and more at 5.
Food delivery robots have taken off on UW campus.
The reaction's been great.
Mark King finds out how these quirky delivery pods work and why the campus community thinks they're out of this world. Tonight on News 3 Now at 6.
Well, after seeing highs in the low 30s today, it does get a little colder outside tonight. We're already dropping down through the 20s, in the mid-20s here over the next hour and a half or so, and then into the teens. Before midnight, overnight low temperatures are expected to drop close to or just below 0 for us. Tomorrow afternoon, partly sunny sky, very cold still. High temperatures in the upper teens, so our mid to upper teens, so definitely not nearly as comfortable as we were today. Wind chills, here's the good news. Early in the day, wind chills below 0, but as we look ahead to the afternoon, at least it'll feel like we're above 0. So that's the silver lining to this. A little bit of a warm up heading into the weekend. I'll be keeping an eye on some snow systems building in for the start of February.
All right, Jana, thank you. A programming note, we are not here tomorrow. We are preempted by CBS coverage of golf. So Monday on Live at 4, film critic Will Loper has the weekend box office numbers for us.
He'll let us know what to watch and what to skip on the big screen and streaming at home. That's coming up Monday on Live at 4.
Furniture and Appliance Mart's multi-million-dollar clearance event is on now. Save up to half off appliance clearance items while they last. Plus, no interest financing for 12 months on all appliances with no minimum purchase. At Furniture and Appliance Mart inside Ashley Home Store off the Beltline.
I like my smile. I like my smile after finishing the power swabs.
I think white teeth are absolute sexy magnets. I love it.
Power swabs have really made a huge difference on the entire quality and color of my teeth, and I'm very, very happy with them.
I've used strips and trays, and they both gave me really sensitive teeth for hot drinks, ice cream, anything hot or cold. Really, really sensitive teeth. With the power swabs, I've been using them for a week and nothing. I had hot coffee this morning and ice cream last night and no problems.
It is so fast. It is effective.
The great thing about power swabs is that it's just easy to use. To me, it's the best solution for teeth whitening on the market.
Introducing Power Swabs, the 5-minute stain removing and whitening treatment. Apply the Step 1 stain removing cleanser. Use the swab to get in between teeth, around edges, as the blue cleansing detergent is thin enough to get into pores to release stains. Open Swab 2. Duplicate the process. Instantly see up to a full 2-shade difference. That's powerful. Forget gooey trays. Save a fortune on electronics. Forget slippery strips. Imagine your teeth up to 6 shades whiter in a week. Call or visit us online now, and we'll send you the complete Power Swab system. 7 cleansing swabs. 7 Power Swab foaming whitening swabs. Thanks for celebrating hundreds of thousands of satisfied smiles. We're offering them to you right now for this incredible discount. We'll pay your shipping and handling. If you're not fully satisfied, even after day 1, return it for your money back. Laugh more. Smile more. Enjoy life more. Call right now or go online now, and we've been authorized for a limited time to include our on-the-go Power Swab Stain Out Quick Stick. It's a $19.95 value, free. With this complete offer, you are saving over 40%. Call or go online now. Brighten your smile and your life now.
It's here, Wisconsin. Ashley Home Store's mega clearance event is on now. Millions of dollars worth of in-stock clearance, floor sample, and special purchase furniture and mattresses must be sold. This is your chance to save as much as 85% off while it lasts. Plus, no interest financing for 3 years store-wide. Only at Ashley Home Store.
Well, earlier in the show, we showed you Jonathan, the 200-year-old tortoise.
In today's Final Touch, we meet the oldest living aquarium fish in the world. This is Methuselah, named after the oldest person mentioned in the Bible who lived to be 969 years old. This Methuselah, a 4-foot-long lungfish, lives at the California Academy of Sciences in San Francisco. The primitive species have lungs and gills and are believed to be the evolutionary link between fish and amphibians. Methuselah was brought to California in 1938 from Australia and was 6 years old at the time. So biologists now estimate that she's about 90 years old. The Australian lungfish is now a threatened species and can no longer be exported. So it's unlikely the Academy will get an eventual replacement. So they'll continue giving her the best care, including her favorite treats, fresh figs, and belly rubs. 90-year-old fish. It's a long time. All right, that's our time for now. Again, we'll see you on Monday here on Live at 4. We're off tomorrow. News 3 Now at 5 starts right now.